I'm guessing Christopher Priest needed some rent money. You should not have made this comic! You should not have made it! You should not have made it! Now available in paperback and e-readers, John Haynes, A Thorn in My Side. The man who rules the world takes on an agent from the CIA, from the Black Boule, in this all-new John Haynes series adventure. Get your copy of John Haynes' A Thorn in My Side in paperback and e-readers at online booksellers everywhere. Better get the coleslaw, y'all, cause we're having us a barbecue. Black Panther is a white man. Never thought this would be, but here we are. Now, a lot of black comic fans and comic fans in general are all getting upset talking about this new comic book that just came out called The World to Come. Now, in this comic called The World to Come, Christopher Priest and Joe Quesada show us a future under the Marvel Knights brand where Black Panther T'Challa is replaced by a white guy, and a lot of people are getting all salty, but I could just care less. And I could just care less that Black Panther is going to have his mantle handed over to a white guy, because when it comes to Black Panther is a white character, and he's a white character because he was created by two white creators in Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. So he's not an actual black character that was created by foundational black Americans, and that's why I ain't getting upset and salty about somebody else's character that is owned by a white corporation, Disney. It don't really matter to me at all regarding their world to come, which is just a speculative alternate future being written by Christopher Priest, who's basically taken a break from ruining Vampirella over at Dynamite Comics to go over here and basically go out here and ruin Black Panther in a possible alternate future. And that's why I'm not getting all salty and sour about Black Panther The World to Come from Marvel Knights, because I know it's just an alternate future that will be completely dismissed. I mean, all this basically is the Section 8 version of Dark Knight Returns for the millionth time, because this industry just can't seem to understand how to go out here and create solid stories. No, they don't know how to create no sort of solid stories, so they just give us retreat after retreat of either Watchmen or The Dark Knight Returns, and continue on pushing their deconstructed story model, showing us this fallen Black Panther in the style that Christopher Priest adopted over 25 years ago. And sadly, that whole approach to storytelling as related to The World to Come shows us that Christopher Priest is near the end of his career, because his craft has fallen off dramatically ever since he started writing Vampirella for Dynamite about 2, 3, 4 years ago. And after going to have to sit through his Vampirella, The World to Come was just as painful to sit through, not because just of the white Black Panther at the end of the story, but I'm reading the story of this old aging T'Challa, which is completely out of character, because as I see it, T'Challa basically would have handed over the title and mantle of Black Panther if he wasn't capable of going on. No, he wouldn't have sat there and been some pathetic old man like is presented here in this story. I mean, in this story, T'Challa is presented as a pathetic old man, similar to the pathetic way he presents Vampirella as a baby mama. I mean, when I think about the great Christopher Priest, who wrote great stories like 1987's Spider-Man vs. Wolverine and many Batman comics in the 80s, I mean, compared to this pathetic writer that I see right now, a guy whose craft has fallen completely off, I mean, I don't see any reason to get upset about The World to Come, because it just shows me that Christopher Priest is at the end of his rope and doing anything to go out here and look to pay his rent due to the horrible page rates that are being produced by Marvel, where they only paying writers about maybe $40, $50 a page, and maybe he wanted to go out here and get him some hot pockets, so he just took on this job. Now, Marvel basically, they came out with this comic because they're desperate at this point, and they're desperate to get sales, and as they're so desperate to get sales, what they're doing right now is going out here looking to shock you with the world to come and showing you this white boy as Black Panther. That's what they want to do as related to things, is show us this white boy Black Panther in an effort to go out here and generate some controversy and get a lot of these YouTubers upset, like the usual suspects over on many of these platforms. I ain't gonna name no names, but these guys basically, what they're looking to do is generate some controversy and some clicks and views as related to those channels and try to generate some sort of heat. But this type of heat really don't sell no books. I mean, no, this ain't that kind of heat that go out here and sell books, because they've been doing this for over, I think, about 10 years, ever since the all-new, all-different Marvel, and sales ain't really gone up from these type of stunts. No, sales ain't gone up. In fact, we've seen the entire comic book industry implode over the course of the last 10 years as they've pulled these type of shock stunts. We've seen the entire comic book industry implode, and most people's response really to this whole stunt, like myself, who are comic fans and have been comic fans for years, is just a meh, because this whole revelation of white Black Panther doesn't really answer that critical question of why should we care? I mean, why should I care about this revelation when nobody really even cares about the Marvel Universe at this point? And in fact, this is a Marvel Knight story set in a possible alternate future, which does not answer that critical question of why should we care? I mean, why should anybody care at all that the Black Panther's mantle is now being taken by a white man when most people don't even buy comic books anymore, and there are only about 300 shops in the entire United States. I mean, this ain't gonna get nobody to be running in no comic shop to go out here and pick up one of these comics for Black Panther, the world to come. I mean, nobody's coming to one of those 300 comic shops to go pick up this book, which is just designed to be some shock marketing, that really don't matter whatsoever. I mean, why should I go out here and care and be running to go out here and pick up one of these books whatsoever? I mean, everything here is an alternate future, and with everything being an alternate future, there are no stakes whatsoever. No, this is a possible alternate future, no different than Days of Future Past from the X-Men, which had higher stakes than this, or the Avengers, the last Avengers story, where the Hulk wound up ripping Tigra in half and wound up blowing up Wonder Man. I mean, those stories, yeah, they're out there, they were published, but they don't matter at the end of the day. And this story, The World to Come, will be forgotten in less than 2 or 3 weeks, again, as related to things. And all the shock and awe as related to this latest gimmick just shows how desperate Marvel is. I mean, Marvel is really desperate at this point, and so desperate that they gotta go out here and make white Black Panther in order to try to get all of those white YouTubers upset, so they're out here making those videos, trying to get all that AdSense money and trying to go out here and get that super chat money as they're having live streams about Marvel being woke. I mean, that's what they really want to go out here and generate, that type of heat. But me, it doesn't matter to me, because this ain't really a Black Panther was never a black character. We don't have any ownership of that character. That character was created by white men in Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, so he was always a white character. And with him being an intellectual property owned by Marvel, he's basically theirs to do whatever they please. And what they're doing right now is just showing me how desperate they are to generate sales, because books like their Amazing Spider-Man, which is hot garbage right now, that new run basically ain't really setting the world on fire. No, ain't setting the world on fire, because nobody cares about Spider-Man comics anymore. Nobody cares about Marvel comics anymore. Nobody cares about DC Comics anymore whatsoever. I mean, nobody really cares, because we're not getting comics on the level of quality of this X-Men #1 from the 90s, or many books from the 70s. And when it comes down to black comic fans, here's my advice to you brothers and sisters who go out here and are looking for some great comics. Don't worry about no Black Panther or any of these mainstream characters. Again, this is just what Marvel's been doing since the 90s, and sadly, over the last almost 30 going on 40 years, they continue to do these shock marketing stunts in order to generate controversy and clicks and views, but don't really see it generating sales. And what's really sad about it is that you don't see that this is the definition of insanity, doing the exact same thing and expecting a different result, doing the exact same thing and expecting a different result. And as they see the result isn't generating sales, people do is go to YouTube or TikTok or hear guys like me take books like this to the barbecue. And this book, again, ain't really worth my time whatsoever. I mean, this book, The World to Come, is another book that I see that's going to come and go. And I would rather go out here and invest my time and my money, not even considering a book like this. No, there's lots of great books out here that you can go out here and pick up, like Greg Burnham's Bridges, fantastic book that's made by a Black creator and made with characters that he possibly owns. I mean, this is a great comic, fun comic all around. Really reminds me of the old school X-Men, but it's with some very beautiful sisters. I mean, this is a book I highly recommend you spend your time and your money on. Same thing if you're out here, you can go out here and pick up, if you're over 18, you can pick up this book, The Exorcist Club, which got a beautiful sister in it as a part of a diverse team that is much more like Ghostbusters 2016. And the same publisher, I think, also makes Curse of the Gorgon, a book that's got a beautiful sister in it. Or you could go out here and pick up some of the books on the SJS Direct imprint, like my comic John Haynes at Death's Door, which is on Lulu.com right now. You can pick up this comic, which is an adaptation of the John Haynes series book, John Haynes at Death's Door, and is 32 pages of all-out action that captures the heart and soul of a John Haynes series book. Or you can go out here and pick up my Esteem series book, Esteem Blast from the Past, which basically is a story where Esteem is taking on some a doppelganger of herself from the past. And you can also check out this 8-page comic that I did with Bill Walko called No Good Deed, which is in the back of the Esteem series, of this Esteem series book in paperback, or you can pick it up on Kindle for 99 cents. Or you can pick up one of the SJS Direct Universe books, the first book in the Isis series, Isis Amari's Revenge. Or you can pick up other books like the John Haynes series book, John Haynes Illuminati. Now, I've got a whole bunch of comics. I've, again, gone out here and worked with people out here promoting on Kickstarter. Or you can pick up my latest book, Spinsterella Goth Girl Summer, which is a light novel that features art on the inside. I mean, there are so many different options for many of us brothers and sisters as related to things. I mean, this is another picture in the book, again, because the book is filled with pictures of Matilda's journey in the world of goth modeling. So there's a whole world of great material out there, and we don't need to waste our time with The World to Come from an alternate future, talking about White Black Panther from Christopher Priest needing rent money and possibly needing some food stamps because he got to take an extra job because Dynamite possibly the check ain't cleared as related to those horrible Vampirella stories he's been producing. Now, we ain't got to waste our time on no nonsense like The World to Come because there's a whole world of great black fantasy, a whole world of great black stories. Again, I just showed a couple of the books that I have written and done, in addition to the comics that I've gone out here and purchased and produced myself. I mean, there's so much great material out there that we don't need to waste our time on nonsense. I mean, we don't need to waste our time on nonsense out here right now. I mean, there's so much good stuff out here that we just basically ain't paying attention to. I mean, I just, in addition to Goth Girl Summer, just did 2 more books. I did the John Haynes A Thorn in My Side. I also did Esteemed Season of the Witch Girl, which features a great cover that pays homage to the late John Romita. And again, so much great stuff out here. We don't need to deal with no World to Come as related to Marvel Knights and a possible alternate future where Joe Quesada and Christopher Priest gonna get maybe $50 a page over at Marvel, and they're gonna possibly sell maybe 200-300 copies. as related to this book, because ain't nobody really paying attention to comic books anymore, because they keep making garbage like this. They keep making garbage like this, and they want people to sit there and make videos about it like what they want me to do right now, thinking, oh, these clicks and views will lead to people coming to the comic shop. Now, people ain't coming to the comic shop for garbage like this anymore, and many YouTubers ain't really even talking about it like that. No, we understand, okay, Marvel, these are your characters. They are your corporate properties. You can do whatever you want with them, but we gonna take our money and again put it on other people's books. Put it on other people's books because we passed the controversy and the drama regarding Marvel's characters, because we don't own those characters. And again, I would rather go out here put my money on books like Season of the Witch Girl, or John Haynes, A Thorn in My Side, or Spinsterella, Goth Girl Summer, or many of the other books I've done like Isis Amari's Revenge, or older Esteem series books. I would rather try to focus on making my own stuff and my own comics, or like John Haynes at Death Store, rather make my own stuff, or go out here and support the material created by other creative brothers and sisters like Bridges or the Exorcist Club. I would rather take my money and my time and invest in those books rather than invest in a book that's basically a rent money grab, not even a cash grab, but a rent money grab, and a desperate attempt by Marvel to get people's attention and make us care about characters we used to love but no longer care about, and no longer care about because of the dysfunctional approaches to storytelling that they use, that from either the deconstructed story model that became obsolete in the 90s all the way up to the gimmicks that they try to pull like this to try to shock you to get your attention. None of this stuff makes us care, and when it comes to the world to come, it shows me that the world of Marvel is basically getting near to the end of the world, because they gotta pull desperate Hail Mary stunts like going out here and showing us, oh, we got a white Black Panther again in the world to come, and showing us again T'Challa being beaten as an old man. This is just showing me how Marvel has fallen so greatly ever since the dark days of the 90s, and showing me how pathetic they are over at Marvel. Again, going for what I would call an EBT or a food stamp cash grab. Again, trying to go get pennies on the dollar, because these people don't know how to tell a story, at all, and show me how sad and pathetic this industry has become as a business, that they gotta have Black Panther be a white man. Again, this was a meme and they've turned it into a story, and it just shows me how sad and pathetic this industry is. And I'm really deeply saddened to the point where I look at this and say, thank God I was never a part of this comic book business, because it's a pale, sad imitation of what it used to be. Now, again, my first full comic, John Haynes at Death Store, is available on Lulu.com, and you can get John Haynes at Death Store for the same price as it was offered on the 2022 Kickstarter, and you can pick up this comic and get a great story that's far better than the world to come in the world right now. And you can also pick up my other comic, Esteem No Good Deed, inside of this Esteem series book, Esteem Blast from the Past, which has a great cover paying homage to the late George Perez, and features a fantastic 9-page story that basically is a lot of fun. I mean, you can pick up this story, No Good Deed, in this book, Esteem Blast from the Past, on Amazon.com, or pick up the comic, No Good Deed, on Kindle for just 99 cents. And you can pick up many of the other SJS Direct Universe books, like those in the Esteem series, like Horror in the Hamptons, the start of the Isis series, Amari's Revenge, or my latest book in the Spinsterella series, Spinsterella Goth Girl Summer. Yeah, it's 600 pages, but again, 600 pages that are better than paying for all of this Black Panther. The World to Come has a far more compelling story about Matilda Crowley in the world of goth modeling. Or you can pick up the latest John Haynes series book, John Haynes, A Thorn in My Side. Lots of great books on the SJS Direct imprint, like Esteem Season of the Witch Girl, which capture more fun and more heart than the current Marvel comics, and have great storytelling for everyone to enjoy. You can get all these books on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find them at other online booksellers like Draft to Digital, Google Play, Barnes & Noble, and big box retailers like Walmart and Target. And if you'd like to see me make more videos taking lame comics like Black Panther, The World to Come, to the barbecue, you can drop a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App, and I use that money to go out here and pay comic artists way more than Marvel does for covers and interior pieces. And I also go out here and use that money to also be able to pay for the internet and continue making more great content about comics. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and e-readers, Esteemed Season of the Witch Girl. The aspiring angel takes on a wicked teenage witch in this action-packed, all-new Esteemed series adventure. Pick up your copy of Esteemed Season of the Witch Girl in paperback and e-readers at online booksellers today. Now available in paperback and e-readers, Spinsterella Goth Girl Summer. Take a trip into the macabre world of goth modeling in the new millennium in this spooktacular Spinsterella story. Pick up your copy of Spinsterella Goth Girl Summer in paperback and e-readers at Amazon.com and online booksellers everywhere. Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.